We want every side to come together to attempt to take down the 100 side.
Man, they gotta
We want
understand,
all the
right?
smoke.
We go off the content.
Three, two, one. Hey there, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. No capping. I'm your host, bringing you nothing but straight fire and authenticity. Today, we're diving into 12 rooms that I got to promote. The 100 ENT showroom, hosted by Big Wack100. The Beehive room. Love and R&B room, hosted by the Queen of the 100 side, R&B. No room for the weak. No mercy room. Spin the block room. 100 ENT Jailbreak Squad room. 100 ENT South room. Petty Betty and Toxic Tanya room. Dangerous Minds room, hosted by Beast. Good Burger, Sleepless in LA, and many more. If you want to get closer or you want to be a part of the show, go to Clubhouse, follow one of these rooms, or you look for a room titled with Wack100. These particular videos all made possible by the one and only Wack100. Get ready to vibe with me as we explore the hardest topics that need some real recognition in the streets. Let's jump right into it and show some love to this channel by hitting the like and or subscribe button. So, without further ado, hold it down. One mic on Wack.
We've been having this back and forth about Charlie Kirk. He mad at me because I said I appreciate Charlie Kirk for the things he's done for the black community. And he gets bent all out of shape. Somebody ping Captain Tazariak. Them Israelites don't be doing no running. You get what I'm saying? Oh, there you go. There we go. So them Israelites, they be doing no running. You know, my thing is, you can't.
Right.
Without him knowing, and Cap probably never been through this, because Cap is part of a solid team, and their lead man, what's the brother name? I cannot pronounce his name. The one that's over the ISUPK. Y'all, General. How you say his name?
General Yohana.
General Yohana. I believe
Right.
the brother is a righteous brother, and he tries his best to lead and guide with the righteous intentions. But Cap, let me ask you something, and I want you to keep it real. Malcolm X had a longer period of time misleading from being misled than he had leading the correct way. Right or wrong?
At least from the nation perspective. From the nation.
No.
So I think what you're saying is, so of course, what you laughing for, man?
Listen to what I said.
Right. So you saying because he feel like when he left the nation, he got the right Islam. That's what you're saying, right?
So how long was he leading
from his position?
Being misled.
From his position, he spent more time being misled than led, I would say.
Okay.
From his
then
position.
He was in tune feeding the ideology to his people, right?
Right. So he felt from the nation, so it's almost two sides of Islam from Malcolm's position. So one position is he's with the NOI, they got the way that they lead. Then he either gets put out or leaves Islam, depending on who you're talking to.
That wasn't really the ways of Islam, right? Charlie
Yeah, I would
Kirk.
say that, right? Because I think in the movies, that's when he start drinking from the same cup as white people and all that and everything like
Okay,
that, right? Hmm.
Charlie Kirk at the age of 31. I believe people before him, if he didn't do it intentionally, but somebody as a young kid was already educating him to what they wanted him to believe, that black people were the root to evil in our country, right?
Hmm.
And I believe these numbers that he would spit out was coming from his side, right? So the
Hmm.
reason why I compared Charlie's voice probably wasn't as big as we would perceive Malcolm's movement to be. It
Right.
kind of was because Malcolm didn't have the internet in his time and day. So
Right.
Charlie with the internet was able to get out there. But both of them at one point was misled. The only difference is Malcolm tried to make an adjustment. But what they share in common, Charlie would say black people are the root to evil, and they the reason for crime, and they represent 55% of the violence in America, right? Malcolm would get up there and say, okay, all the white men are evil, and this, that, and John F. Kennedy, as far as I'm concerned, the chickens came home to roost, right? But then he got in trouble for what he was taught to say because
Right.
he didn't understand the politics of really what that was. Now, what it did do was make both sides go look into what they was talking about. And the reason why I applaud Charlie Kirk is because I know black people harm black people at an all-time rate, but I didn't know what the rate was. I would hear that we represent 12, 13% of the country. Okay, cool. But I never thought that although it's not 55%, it may be high 30s, 40%. We do have a high rate of cases being dismissed. Geronimo Pratt, 33 years later,
Right.
right? All that's there. But the reason why I applaud Charlie is because even I respected his mirror. I said, wait, hold on, man, let me go see what this dude talking about. And because he said some wrong stuff that was partially right, it made me go investigate and say, well, 12.85, 13% of the country we represent, but it don't say 55%. It says like 38. I seen a 28. I seen a 40%. And that told me, regardless of the number was wrong, it's still a problem. Now you tell me what
Hmm.
black man has been running around saying these things and got the echo it got to make us pay attention.
I think well before we get to that part, because I'll answer that. The difference between Charlie and Malcolm first is that Malcolm is coming from a defensive position, whereas Charlie is on an offensive position. Because even as you say, Charlie made you go look up the numbers that he was wrong about. Charlie is only bringing up those numbers to do what's called white centering.
Do
Because
you
the
think
more that,
Charlie was offensive?
yes, when I'm
No,
saying, no, no,
no.
hear what I'm, no, no, hear what I'm saying.
He
When I'm
was
saying,
defensive.
no, he wasn't. No, he was not. Because he didn't, none of the numbers or things that he said made anybody analyze how criminalistic white people were. It only made us analyze
See, that's
how
the
criminal.
problem.
No, no, no. It only made us look up how criminalistic black people were. Because
Okay,
if he was about being even, then it would just be crime. It wouldn't
okay.
be. It wouldn't
Listen,
be centering. Wait, hold up. It wouldn't be centering.
why
So
should
now,
we care about the
because
crime of the white person when if we put in time and attention to
hmm
addressing the white person's crime, that's taking away the energy, time, and attention that we could be applying to correcting our crime as a people. So are you here to better?
you would have that if it was a black person talking about the crime, then it's us dealing with us. Like that Baltimore mayor. That Baltimore mayor, you was asking me like what black man has done something. So that black Baltimore mayor has got us the lowest crime in Baltimore in like 50 years.
Did his story, right, and the things he's achieved in Baltimore,
right,
did it echo through our land as much as Charlie Kirk's voice echoed through our land?
No, and that's why I said Charlie is on the offensive, but we're on the defensive, because you know what we got to do this. No,
you still don't get what I'm saying.
I get exactly what you're saying, but you got to look at the propaganda and why I said white centering, because the mayor in Baltimore didn't use blaming the white man on nothing. He just used, we don't have opportunity, we don't have resources, we're not going door to door. So what he started doing was that. So now at the same time that he's doing that, what is Donald Trump also doing? Donald Trump is saying Baltimore is a cesspool. We got to get the National Guard there. He don't want the numbers to come out that we got the lowest murder rate in 50 years in Baltimore. Why? Because if we can fix that by addressing it as a health crisis, lack of resources, now you can't talk about black. Wait, hold on. You can't talk about black on black crime now. Now notice I ain't say nothing about white people. You notice I ain't said nothing about white people yet.
Listen, you just proved my point. And it's a sad thing. My point is the numbers came out. The numbers came out because you, me, and we all seen it. We seen it. But guess what? Although we seen it as a people, right? We didn't take it and carry it on and say, hey, the brother in Baltimore did this. He got their murders.
No, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the thing about good news with black people, especially when it comes to something like this.
Here it comes.
Thank you. This is not. Let me tell you. This is not going to get the push that it should have from social media. Wait, before you say stop, let me just one thing out.
I'm glad you said that.
Charlie's false numbers that you agree and I agree are false.
Come on.
That gets pushed to the masses.
There it goes. This is why Charlie for president. Charlie,
but Charlie can't be president now. It got to be a new Charlie now. Charlie dead.
Listen, I don't think Charlie thought, right, what he was doing was going to alarm us in a positive way. What I need you to stop doing, because you now are siding with Charlie. I'm taking
Charlie. Hell no, I ain't siding with Charlie.
Yes, you are.
I'm showing you.
I'm going to tell you why you are.
No, wait, before you go, so you can know my lens. The media is pushing Charlie.
No. And I'm glad they are. I'm going to tell you why you siding with Charlie. General is listening because he's going to understand where I'm coming from.
The general listening. Well, you froze, Wack. You froze a little bit. Okay, I got you. Hold on, we just waiting for Wack to come back.
Cap, every time, Cap, when I come out and I say, Charlie Kirk has put a mirror in front of us, and because he's white, and because he's saying the things that are not in our favor, and he's saying things that makes us look like the monsters of this country, right? It has upset us, right? And I want the people to be upset. I got upset enough to say, and hold on, man, let me see what the hell.
Go. Yeah, look at the numbers, right? Look at the numbers.
And when I went and looked at the numbers, I realized, although off with the numbers, he was wrong about the top number. He was still right that we are a problem within ourselves when it comes to ourselves. Now, let me tell you where you work.
No, actually, no, that's not true.
Okay, we're going to talk about it. Let me tell you where you work for Charlie.
Okay. You said I work for Charlie? You said I work for Charlie?
Keep the light on. We represent 13% and mid-30s to high 40s of the crime. That's all I want to keep the light on. Black, black, black. How do we fix our problem? Black.
Okay, but we can't. Okay,
say, but what about what the white dudes?
No, that's cap.
No,
That's
Keep
cap.
the
You gotta
light
pick
on us.
what you gotta do, Wack. No, what you gotta do, Wack, is you gotta pick what type of conversation you want to have with me. So we talking
What?
about I'm about to tell you, if we talking about what Charlie said, then you have to include white people because number one,
No,
Charlie
we
is
don't.
white. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna tell you why. Charlie is white, Charlie is lying. There's 49 million black
He's
people.
not lying
But
completely.
here what see how you now you making excuses for the nigga because
No.
you saying he's not lying completely.
Respectfully, do not call Mr. Kirk a ninja. He never wanted to be called a
Man, I
ninja.
want to hear that. Well, he can't control it now. He ain't even here.
Listen,
He ain't even here right now.
what I'm
He ain't
saying
even here.
is how we work. Okay, the condition of your backyard, right?
Right.
You got 3 boys in the house, and you got a shed full of gardening tools and all that. You got everything.
Yeah.
You need. Are you gonna hold your neighbor responsible
No,
for how
I'm
your
not.
backyard looks?
I'm only gonna hold my sons, unless my neighbors is trying to get into my house. Unless my neighbors is inflicting to where every time my sons build up, my neighbors come
Now
and
stop.
do something that yeah.
So what if in the community, every time you went to the mailbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other neighbors in the community said, yeah, your neighbor sent us back pictures of your backyard. He said your backyard is horrible. It's a disgrace to the community. Are you, and listen, all this time, you've been looking in the backyard too, right? Your sons is running around, they doing everything. You ain't said nothing. But now that your neighbor, the white dude, then took a picture and sent it out to the community about look at this dude backyard. Now you on your, do you go address your neighbor or do you say, hey, let's get this backyard together?
I do both at the same time because what I have to do with my sons is I have to warn my sons about what my neighbor is doing and then what we're going to do to make sure that that neighbor can't do it again. So you got to do two things.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I just said, I'm going to address what my sons
what are you
is doing.
going to do to make sure that neighbor can't do that with photos again? What you going to do? You and your sons in your backyard.
I'm going to make sure that we're protected from my neighbor doing that.
No, you dancing. What are you going to do to your backyard?
Because the neighbors, what the neighbors are doing
so you gonna put a fence
my
up?
backyard. Yeah, I'm going to put a bigger fence up.
Oh, so you're not going to just get the backyard together?
That's how, so slow down. So that's how you get the backyard. What you saying and I'm saying, you actually for once are agreeing with me.
Why spend money putting a bigger fence up?
Why is the fence being bigger? Because we both don't want the neighbor to get in there because when the neighbor gets in the backyard, the backyard is fine as long as the neighbor's not in there.
Okay,
you making my point right there.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I myself has used this analogy because in my community, I'm the backyard man, right?
Right.
If your backyard was beautified and your neighbor's a hater, do you think he's gonna take a picture and send that out?
No, he's gonna make sure that backyard gets messed up first.
No. He's
gonna mess up. You gotta be honest with your analogy though, because
it's your backyard.
It is my backyard.
So what I'm saying is, Cap, why put the time into putting the fence up and hiding the backyard when you and the 3 boys with the garden?
You're not hiding. That's the thing.
The backyard.
You think you hide in the backyard. You're not hiding the backyard.
Why should your first
protecting.
move be, look, you looking at it and you saying, yep,
you're saying
my backyard. This is my backyard.
But
now,
the thing with the backyard, in the house, you have to protect it from but do you have to protect it from intruders? Do you have to protect it from intruders?
He never came into the backyard. He just took a.
I'm just asking a question. All I'm asking is a question. Do you have to protect it from intruders?
House. He got a 2-story house. He can come out on the balcony and look in the backyard. My thing is, why try to put a taller fence up when we can apply the tools you got and the manpower you got in your sons and yourself?
Got you.
And beautify the backyard. Let's let the backyard.
Because here's the part that you're missing. The sons are doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping the backyard clean. The only
it's in disarray.
The only interference of the backyard is when the neighbor gets involved. It's when the neighbor is coming
But
to
he's
take
telling
pictures.
the
When the
truth.
neighbor
Your
is trying to,
backyard is horrible.
he's only telling the truth
So
after he's helped destroy the backyard.
how did he
That's
help
why you
destroy?
get,
Wait, stop.
because he's
How did he help
breaking
this your
in.
backyard?
Right. And every backyard, you have to protect it from intruders.
No,
And
every backyard,
unfortunately, that
you have
neighbor,
to put the time
unfortunately,
and effort
right.
into keeping the backyard maintained.
And you know what everybody has in their house in their backyard? They
Or
have
the
security.
general gonna be
Some
on
people,
you, Cap.
no, he's not.
General
They either
trying to
have
get it.
dogs, they have a fence, they have weapons, they have all that. Why do you have that? Because people will break into your house. So
No,
in your analogy,
listen.
that neighbor will
No.
break into your house. And
The
what you're
neighbor
trying
never
to do,
came on your
that's
property.
cat. That's cat. How did you
I
even
can
get
go
pictures?
upstairs right now.
I didn't even
Cap,
get
don't
pictures.
make me do it. I can go upstairs right now, go on my balcony, and look into both my neighbor's backyard without going on their property. Right?
That's correct.
If I see,
But will you go
backyard
into
is
that? But
horrible.
can you go into that neighbor? Can you go into their backyard? Can you
If
walk
I
into their
want to,
backyard?
anybody can go in anybody's backyard.
No. But you can't go in there without going through a gate, without going through a fence, without going through a door. We agree,
Or
right?
going over a wall. But I
Right,
don't
going
what I'm
over a
saying
wall.
is,
That's what
I
you have
don't
to do.
to go
So
into
the
the
problem,
yard to get the picture.
so I want everybody to
See,
get this
you
part.
want to blame the neighbor.
Wait, why you want to overtalk now?
See,
Wait.
you want to blame the neighbor. What I'm
No,
saying
I
is,
have to blame the neighbors
no,
because
it's your
in this,
backyard.
but in this metaphor, the metaphor that you're
It's
giving,
your backyard. Why don't you
you're
fix
right.
your
But the
backyard?
metaphor,
So when the neighbor looks over there, you know when they
Right.
look at my backyard, they
Right.
get mad. They get mad.
So
I had
here's an
file
example.
lawsuits on me
So
about my
right.
backyard.
So here's
They
the perfect
say-
example. So here's a perfect example. So if the mayor of Baltimore, which is a black
No,
man,
no, Cap.
no, don't let
I'm requesting to have a sit-down meeting with you and Cap
we don't want to,
because
no problem.
you see what he's doing.
What? No, you spinning now. The mayor
Cap.
of Baltimore is
Cap.
black.
Before
He
we
sees
go
his
there,
backyard. Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
He sees his backyard. He goes into his backyard. He don't go into nobody else's backyard. He goes into his backyard, cleans up his backyard, and then the neighbor still hates on him cleaning up his backyard. He got that backyard at
He
a
can't.
50, yes, listen to what
but
I'm
he
saying.
can't hate.
Well, yes, he can, because he got his
Cap, he
backyard
cannot
at a
hate.
50%. Listen to what I'm saying.
You know why he can't
He
hate?
got his backyard. You got to listen to what he got his backyard at a 50% low. And his neighbor, which is Donald Trump, is still saying Baltimore is a cesspool, which is a lie. It's still taking pictures or trying to paint a picture that Baltimore is this,
Listen.
that Baltimore is that.
And you
Even
know
though
what?
that
Let me
mayor
tell you where
got
I
it at a
applaud Donald
50%
Trump with
clip.
that. Let me tell you where I applaud Donald Trump with doing that. Follow
It's
me.
bad. Don't do
Oh,
it.
see,
Don't
Cap,
do it. You're
Cap,
about to
you seeing
defend the
it the
hater.
wrong way.
You're about to
Cap.
defend the neighbor.
Cap,
So
listen to me.
before you do that, let me ask you a question.
See, you don't want.
No, let me ask you a question. So as the Baltimore mayor got it at a 50-year low, if the neighbor doesn't hate, doesn't eventually it go away? If the neighbor doesn't paint the picture that they're bad?
Let me tell you what happens with
Why
us
you
as the
can't? You
people.
got to answer the question, though.
Answer your question.
Okay, no problem.
Within our relationships, job, our hustle, our health, we tend to get relaxed when ain't no pressure there. When the light is on us and we think somebody, hold on, and we think somebody is looking, I'm gonna tell you this, since a little boy, this is real talk, a baby, even times you don't remember, I don't remember, when you started to hold your own bottle and your mother said, you like, oh, I got a reaction from that. You get what I'm saying? So when I tell you, I applaud Charlie Kirk, right? For putting a mirror in front of us. If we tell us, as you have said, you and your movement, on many corners for years, preaching and speaking to our people. And if I was you, it would upset me too, because you've done this more than me. And very minimum people react to what you're saying, which is right about our people. But
True
then we
that.
get a white dude that's 31 years old who's speaking ill and foul against us. But then when he says it, people get mad and say, we need to do something about it, right? You've been saying, Martin, Malcolm, a bunch of people,
Right.
Farrakhan, a bunch of our people have been saying, yo, we killing each other. We need to stop. Tony Muhammad, I've said with him many times, we need to stop. Yo movement, we need to stop. But then I applaud Charlie Kirk because this young white dude who spoke very ill against our people,
Mm-hmm.
because of him saying it, now we paying attention. So let's get back to the backyard.
But wait.
I
But
don't
now,
blame, listen, I don't blame the neighbor, the white neighbor, for taking the picture without trespassing and putting it out there. Because of him doing that and the chatter of the community got you motivated to now beautify and clean your backyard, I think he did you a justice. Because
but here's
without
how the
him,
neighbor is
you just
hating.
let the backyard go.
But here's how I think how the neighbor is hating. Because if that neighbor sees that backyard is getting cleaned up, that backyard, let's say the
He ain't
backyard
gonna say
was
nothing about it.
wait, if the backyard was a pigsty, and now when the backyard gets cleaned up, if he's still saying it's a cesspool, then he's hating to the point where
that's
he
not
doesn't
the
want
point.
nobody to see. Remember,
Cat,
and
you
wait,
just
you gotta
crossed
let me
the
finish.
street.
Wait,
Cat,
no,
Cat,
wait.
You just did some bullshit.
Nah. What you did was you said the hater takes the picture. But now when he takes the picture, it don't look like a pigsty no more.
He's not gonna take that picture.
Right, he's not. You know what
Now
he's gonna
stop,
keep doing?
Cat.
Wait.
Stop. But guess what?
But if he's
Guess
still
who's gonna take that picture in their mind every day and feel better about their situation?
Who?
You, the owner of the backyard.
But if the person that takes the picture gives to the masses the picture of the pigsty, even though we know it's not a pigsty.
It's a pigsty.
So when everybody comes and talks to us, they say, but it's a pigsty, But you be like, no, I cleaned it up. We're again on defense. There's a team on offense, and Charlie is on offense, and we're on defense because they want us to believe that our backyard is a pigsty, but it's not.
Listen to me. The reason why I gave the backyard analogy is because when I brought this home that I'm at right now, this is one of the third home I brought as a youngster.
Right. Okay.
My backyard was a 70-yard football field. Hear me? They said we had 12 months to do the backyard. Right?
Right.
My vision for my backyard, I wasn't in position to do it at the time. So I felt doing anything was a waste of money because I knew what I wanted to do. Right?
Right.
The homeowners association and the board 2-3 times a year had a meeting about my backyard not being done. And I'm gonna tell you why. My lot is the biggest lot in this community.
Right. I remember you telling me that. Right.
I went through scrutiny when I brought this because of how I got it. They tried to take it from me. I had to file racial profiling, all kind of stuff, right? Now watch this. When I went to do my backyard, they filed a lawsuit on me. They had a problem that my backyard wasn't done. And then it was a problem that the backyard, whatever they thought I was gonna do, was gonna be too extreme.
Right.
I still did the backyard, right? I went to court. I beat them in court on the things I did to my backyard. When my backyard got done, I have not heard one word about the appearance of my backyard. The only thing I've heard, hey, Mr. Jones, how you doing? Hey man, I don't know if I should be asking you this. What's going on? Man, we curious about what you did in the backyard. Can we come take a look at it? Right? Let me tell you what I do. I put on my Sunday's best. Well, yeah, sure, come by. None of the people that want to see the backyard look like me, Cap. I let them in, Cap. I let them
Mm-hmm.
in. Listen to me,
Mm-hmm.
Cap. I let them into the backyard, right? Listen, I let them into this. Wasn't none of this shit here. I let them into the backyard,
Right.
right? And guess what, Cap? Because I've cleaned up my own backyard, I don't hear a word. So what I'm saying is, our people, my only concern is our backyard. I don't want you, a man with a voice, to give our people an excuse, which you know they will take. Hey, look, bro, we
I don't.
talking
Now
about
that's one
our
thing I
property.
don't do. That's why I
When
always
you
say that.
say, look at what the white dude's crime rate is, you take their focus
No, no,
off
no,
our
no. Okay,
backyard.
here's why this is important. Here's why these things are important. Well, first of all, if when the Baltimore mayor did what he did, and with the, let's say we parallel what you did with your house, what you did with that lot, what you did with your backyard, right? Now, let's say you represent the mayor of Baltimore, and so
Yeah.
they say you got to clean it up. Donald Trump is the neighbor. So if Donald Trump sees a 50-year decrease and then he sees that work, comes into Baltimore, and then starts having the conversations that your neighbors had with you, then what would happen in Baltimore would then be what we need to do in DC, what we need to do in Newark, what we need to do in Jersey, what we need to do in California, all of the areas.
So,
Now we have an example. But it's the actual opposite. So you have lovely neighbors.
Cap,
But Trump is a horrible neighbor. So when it comes to the numbers, I don't never bring up those numbers.
Cap,
I just did a
listen.
whole wait, let me get it out. So I just did this whole live stream today where I pointed out us trying to unalive each other, us trying to sell drugs to each
You
other.
only doing that because I've been on you.
No, that's
No, okay. Let's go back into all your live streams,
Right.
and I bet you in the last 12 months,
Right.
ain't none of them type of lives. I've been on you.
That's
Keep
cap.
it on up.
Now,
Cap, listen.
I'll tell you
We
what, you've been
need-
on. I'll give you since Charlie has been unalived, I'll give that to you. So what happened is when I try to come out there and I say, well, Charlie did this, Charlie did that, you'll come with your, but we got to do our own. I'll give you that. But my point is
all I care about.
But wait, if it's a conversation between two black men, which we are, I'm with you on having that singular conversation. But if it's a conversation where we got to deal with what the propaganda of our hating neighbor gives, I have to let our people know. And here's why I have to let our people know. Because they'll make it seem like we're the number one killers, we're the number one thieves, we're the number one
That's what I want them to do.
So wait.
That's
but I
what
have
I
to
want
let
them
them
to
know.
do.
You got to give our people two things.
That's what I want them to do.
We have to have truth, and we have to have hope. You
Cap,
have to
check this
have
out.
no. You have to have two things. So
I
Baltimore,
guarantee you, if I told you to be out here Tuesday,
you gotta let me finish.
and you had to have a first class ticket to come out
But you
here,
have to have.
I bet you couldn't book that ticket.
Wait, say that one more time.
Cap, we got a huge event out here, top dudes, and you need to be here Tuesday. But I know you can't book the ticket, so I know you can't get here, right?
No, I'll be there.
No, you can't. You're not capable of getting here.
What are you talking about?
I guarantee you, if I told you, Cap,
if you told me to come to California tomorrow,
you cannot book a ticket to California to be here Tuesday.
Set it up.
I bet you couldn't.
Set it up.
And you couldn't prove me wrong.
Set it up.
You can show me today that you can be here Tuesday.
Set it up.
Now, Kat, I just did that because I'm showing you I understand our people. We perform best under pressure. So what I'm telling you,
but that's not pressure for me. But I'm not disagreeing. But see, why you think I'm disagreeing with the lens?
Let me cook. What I'm telling you, Kat, is let that man's voice echo, because what it's doing, it is pissing our people off to a point to where we want to prove them wrong.
Right. So you have to prove wrong both ways. That's why I said you gotta have. Look, listen to what I'm saying. No, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. You gotta have truth.
Now,
wait, you gotta have truth.
We need to be on us. We can get.
Thank you. I don't disagree with that. But see, here's the thing.
I would rather us look up in a year and say, dance with me. 13%
But
of the
I agree
country.
with you.
We down to 22% crime. Now, Cap, let's go at them.
But see, here's the thing.
Right
You
now,
need
we
truth.
can't go at them.
Yes, you can, because you need
No,
truth.
because they
You
saying
need
something
truth.
that's right.
No, they can't. You need truth and you need hope. The truth is, we do commit crime. That's true. We don't commit it
High
at the
crime.
rate, not at the rate that they're saying. No, that's
It
not at
don't
the rate.
matter. The rate is high, Cap.
No, it doesn't.
Stop.
Because listen, when you look at the numbers, there's 7 million crimes that's committed. 5 million by whites, 2 million by blacks.
And
There's
guess
49
what?
million.
I want
Wait,
the
there's
2
49
million.
million. There's
Listen,
49 million
Cap,
black people.
Cap,
So that 2
I don't
million.
care about the 5 million. I want to take the 2 million and
if
work
it was
towards
only
making
about
it no
crime,
million.
if it was only about crime, then they would be concerned about their own crime. It's about an agenda.
Cap,
it's about
you focusing
stigma.
on
And
the
I
wrong
don't
thing.
disagree. Listen, I don't disagree with what the
You
angle
know I
that you
wore
give.
this
Angle.
shirt
Hold
for
on.
a reason,
I'm gonna
right?
repeat your angle. I'm gonna repeat your angle.
You know
so
I
you
wore this shirt for a reason, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna repeat
Cap,
your
when you
angle.
look at this shirt, what do you see?
I see a weapon.
You see the white represent a gun, right?
Right.
But it's the black that has the message.
No
so what
problem.
I'm saying is,
I'm gonna tell you. Let me repeat
what
your
I'm
agenda. So
saying
I know. Here's what you're saying.
you get what I'm saying?
Let me repeat what you're saying, so you know.
Let
I'm
him
saying
be the reason why we're paying attention. And
what
then
you're
let
saying. Here's what you're saying, so you know I know what you're saying. What you're saying is that whether Charlie or anybody like Charlie, is the numbers are right or wrong. The fact that we do commit crimes, let's negate how he's delivering it. Let's hear it. Be angry enough to do something about it. That's what you're saying. So now you know I know exactly the
and
angle
then
that
when
you're
we
coming
do
from.
something about
What I'm saying is, when somebody like the mayor has done it, that hating ass neighbor is still shitting on it. So it ain't even about.
Now, let me tell you why I like that.
Wait.
Let me tell you why I like that Donald is doing that.
Hold on. Let me finish. So from your side, you'll look at it like that's still good because now that mayor is addressing a direct issue. So ignore what the white man is saying.
No, don't
Let's
ignore
just
it.
focus on.
Don't ignore it.
Not ignore in the sense that we should battle the numbers. Ignore it in the sense that we're gonna take what they said and then we're gonna reverse it. That's what you're saying.
There you go. That's where I'm at.
I understand exactly what you said.
That's where I'm
right.
at.
So I understand exactly where you're coming
So
from.
I like when they do that because when we tell us, when you or we tell us what we got to stop doing, we don't really hear it. But when they say it, we want to do something about it. So let that be the motivation to better that situation even further than what it is today.
Here's the problem, though. More of our people believe the propaganda than they believe the truth. More of our people, like I get fought, like how you keep saying, I do this, I do that, I do, which I do. Commander Johnny Hunter, which he does. But more of our people fight us on that. And then they use somebody like Charlie to say, well, Charlie said this, Trump said that. So when I have that conversation, and because Charlie is in the title, that's why I have to debunk the lies that he has said about black people. Let's say if Charlie wasn't in this title, let's say if it was just about you and I talking about.
Stop debunking the lies.
Because when black people feel like there's nothing, hold up, no, that's not true. Because black people.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Wait, hold on, wait 1 second before you say.
I want you to give a message to the people. I'm gonna be quiet, and you deliver your message like you're talking to the people about what Charlie is doing and all this, and then I'm gonna deliver mine. Go ahead, and I'm gonna show you.
If you're saying so, just so I can be clear, you just want me to deliver. Based on everything that's happened, the message that we should have
to the people.
Perfect. Here we go. Here's my message to the people. And I said this earlier today. It is not the white man's responsibility to police us. It is not the white man's responsibility to take care of us. It's also not our responsibility to look at his way of life as the way of life that we should live. His way of life is live by the gun, die by the gun. His way of life is take it by force. His way of life is if you can't beat him, you beat him more. Our way of life is brotherhood. Our way of life is not selling drugs to each other. Our way of life is understanding the white man's mechanisms to come into our community with abortions, with drugs, with gun violence, with the American way. We have to reverse that. If we can start there, we will fix the problems in the black community. That's where I would start.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. To my brothers and sisters out there, Charlie Kirk is calling us out. He is saying we are the problem as a people of black people, or the problem in the United States of America. He's right. We are killing one another and harming one another at an all-time rate. Now, we can either ignore him and continue down this path of destruction, or we can hear him and challenge him, and let's reset, regroup, change how we deal with one another, stop the violence, bring that number, whatever it may be, decrease it, and still continue to show them we as a people honor all as a people. So we're not turning the gun away from us and turning the gun on them. We're really laying it down, and let's get back to what mankind is supposed to represent. But let's hear him, because he's saying we are heathens. He's saying, the man said we committed less crime before we had the rights to vote and read and write. So let's show him today who we are. We have self-control of us as a people. Let's show him that over this next 12 months, this rate will decline. Let's hear what he's saying, because we are giving him reason to say the things he's saying. So let's beat him at his own game, and let's benefit ourselves as a people. I don't care about what the white people are doing to one another, because at the end of the day, if we as black people stop the white people from doing it to one another, then we have not put in the time for us to stop our people from doing it to ourselves. So let's focus 100% of it to self. And then once we get self right, let's continue the journey and make that better, because now we got a blueprint. How did we get from 40% to 22%? What did we do? What didn't we do? What can we do? What can we enhance? What can we further? We got to focus on us, because any thought we put on them helps them. It don't do nothing for us, but keep us from challenging ourselves, from correcting ourselves. The minute you say, yeah, we this, but the white people that. Oh yeah, well they got more than us, so we cool. No, we're not cool.
So, we're not cool. In actuality, outside of you saying the whole mankind thing, we kind of saying the same exact thing.
I'm not a racist, bro.
This ain't even about racism.
I got people from all walks of earth.
Wait. Don't do that. But don't bring the racism part in here, because the conversation you're having is about blacks.
I love who love me.
But that ain't the conversation we're having right now. The conversation we're having right now is blacks.
You don't like mankind?
The conversation we're having, I just said we both basically saying the same thing. We're just saying it in a different way. It's not racist to say that blacks should worry about blacks. That's not racist. Because
if we're saying our thing is this, but their thing is higher, our people will say.
But in my message to the people, I didn't bring up what they do. Your message, you brought up what they did. I didn't bring up what they did. No, I did not.
You just put up a thing on your Instagram.
No, I'm talking about. No, you just said. Wait, hold on.
You just put up a thing on your Instagram.
The message to the people that I just gave
you said they say black crime is this, and then you had a lady point out 15 different white men that have committed heinous crimes. Right.
Right.
That still doesn't erase the fact of what our crime is.
But what it does do is show that even white people know that crime is crime. Crime is crime. If it's not crime, it's not about race. Let's say if we talk about mankind, then crime is just crime. Ain't no black on black crime, ain't no white on white crime. It's just crime. Now that we got that out the way, let me ask you a question. Now we focus on each other.
Do you think that there is any group of Caucasian men outside of the military and the police force, and even with that, we're gonna fight back, any white group on the street that can come in our ghettos and kill us the way we kill us without there being retaliation immediately?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if they're not coming to do it to us, we gotta stop doing it to us. And the
That's why
fact
I
that
said we
this
say the
white
same,
man
but I agree
has
with
shed
that
the
though.
light on what we doing to us, look, Cap, I'm guilty. I've been running around here telling people stop gang banging, go to police academy, go to the military,
I've heard
don't
you.
follow this
I've heard
route,
you say that. I've heard you
right?
say that. Right.
But I never really did the research. And it took him saying the crazy things he said for me to say, man, let me go see what he's talking about.
But with
And ain't
everything that you're
5%.
saying, but that don't take away from Charlie being racist. And you know the
I don't care
craziest,
about Charlie.
craziest part about
This is what I like. Charlie's ways, his thoughts, his ideology has woken up some of us to where we like, hold on, bro. We gotta stop this.
It's actually done the opposite. What Charlie dying by a transgender, and then now everybody here
Don't do that. Charlie didn't die by a transgender.
He died from loss of blood.
No, the guy that fired the shot is not a transgender.
Okay, he dealing with a gay man shot.
We don't know to what extent he's dealing with that individual.
Okay, no problem. A white man. It wasn't one of us. And that's what's even further, because Charlie also said that a black person is more likely to unalive a white person than a white person.
What is the name of this show right now? It's Charlie Kirk, the white Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, right.
How did Malcolm get killed?
By his own people.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
But Charlie is not, but Charlie is not Malcolm X. Because now, I'm gonna tell you how. You just brought up
he was
how
a powerful speaker, was he not?
Yes, he was. But you brought up how Malcolm realized what he was teaching was wrong. Charlie never had that moment where he said what he. If anything, it was reversed. You know when Charlie wasn't racist, at least at the surface level, when he used to say the civil rights was good and Martin was good. And then his Malcolm X moment, if you want to call it that, he starts saying Malcolm X was awful. Martin was awful. Civil rights was bad. So he actually reversed the Malcolm X side.
Stop, my brother.
Did you say my brother? Yes.
You know where I'm about to go with this. I've heard black people, your people, say the same exact thing about Martin Luther King. Like y'all didn't respect him and didn't respect nothing he stood for.
I agree.
So that means, was he wrong because he was white saying it?
The reasoning,
black saying it?
Got you. His reasoning is what makes him a flip-flopper. Because that I'm pointing out his racism. His is because Martin Luther King is black. Mine's is because what Martin Luther King was doing. What Martin Luther King was doing from an American, as an American, Martin Luther King is the greatest black American because there's nobody that wanted unity of Americans more than Martin Luther King. So now, for Charlie to be against Martin Luther King, that's how you know he was racist. Because if he would have said, I'm against Malcolm, everybody would have understood that.
What's wrong? Listen, what is wrong living in America with that man being who he wants to be?
I have no problem with it.
I watched you let white women, I watched you and your movement tell white women, you need to come kiss all black boots to repent for your ancestors' wrongdoings. And some people that would say that's wrong, right? So what's right?
But we don't make them. Right, but I don't have a problem if somebody says something about me, I don't have a problem with what comes with it based on what I've said. But for whatever reason, Charlie says these things and people want to make it seem like if somebody said, Cap, you a racist because you won't do this, you won't do that, you won't do that. I'm not about to fight them for their position, but people are fighting me when I say Charlie's a racist when clearly the things that he said was racist. Whether you use that as energy to say black people need to get it together, who cares if he's racist or not, doesn't take away of what Charlie was.
Let's use it as motivational fuel.
That's why I said I didn't
show them we have a people heard you. Our brain has registered it, and we know
But you know, before
how to
Charlie
come
said the
together
things,
to fix it.
but before he said those things, crime is down, and not just Baltimore. Crime is even down in Chicago. If anybody look it up,
But it's still too high. Don't say that.
All crime is bad. I'm not saying
No,
that.
I'm not saying bad. Although down in Chicago is still too high. Now I will tell you this.
Crime
To my
is
people
down
in
though.
Baltimore, I want you to hear the voices that are saying we need to send the military, the National Guards to your streets.
No, they
Hear
don't.
the voices.
They
No, I
don't.
want you to hear these voices.
They don't need the
Hold on,
National
Cap.
Guard in
Hold
Baltimore
on,
if they
Cap,
already
because
got the
you
crime
said
rate down.
to my people in Baltimore, although your crime rate has come down to the
That's
lowest
right.
it has in 50 years.
Can I ask you a
Hear
question?
those people. I want you to hear them like you are the bad news bears. There's a movie called The Bad News Bears where they
Right.
told them, y'all uniforms is raggedy, y'all never beat nobody. Hear those people and let the words they say be motivational fuel for you to drive those numbers down even lower. Don't disregard what they're saying. You guys have already figured out how to bring the numbers down. So this task could be even easier. Oh, they still saying, send the National Guard. We
No,
don't fear
you
them
don't need
because
the
we ain't
National
doing
Guard.
nothing anyway.
You know why the National Guard? You know why the National Guard is a problem?
Hold
Why I
on,
keep
Cap.
highlighting?
Why should the brothers in Baltimore fear the National Guards when they got control of what they doing and not doing?
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why that you don't need the National Guard is because the National Guard, let's say if the police force is the Chihuahuas and the National Guard would be the pit bull, they just come in there to force people to do something, which doesn't get to the root of the
Force you to do what?
I'm gonna tell you. No. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. When that Baltimore mayor did, which I'm gonna just read, it says what the Baltimore mayor did that's so impactful was really invested in the whole ecosystem of community-oriented interventions. You don't need the National Guard for that. You just need. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a better one. When me, you, Adam, and I think Tariq, when we was on No Jumper, you had told this story of the brother from TDE, the owner of TDE. Top Dog. How he had bought young brothers that was in gangs, Bloods and Crips, and
different
brought them
projects
out
together to a
concept. And when he brought them out there, they didn't bang with each other. Why? Because they had opportunities. So what the mayor in Baltimore did was created an ecosystem of opportunities where they're not feeling as oppressed. They're not feeling as angry. They're not feel. So wait. So let me finish. So when you say, do we need the National Guard? No, we don't need the National Guard.
We don't fear them either because they're not doing nothing.
Who?
Listen, we had them come to LA, right?
Right. Who's the we?
Listen, they came to LA on some ICE type stuff, right?
Okay, right. Okay.
And they were targeting Hispanics, although Haitians, Jamaicans, and everything they was pretty much targeting Hispanics. Listen, the brothers in the urban communities, we didn't fear the National Guard because we all born here. We ain't worried about them. So what I'm saying is, where Baltimore is at today, there's a large percent today, not those other days. Let them come because we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
That's going to put. All that's going to do if the National Guard
do is scare those that's still doing wrong and the not doing wrong to drive that number down even lower.
But you know what's going to happen though? As soon as the National Guard leave, they're going to keep doing it. When you have community, if you have create that ecosystem. Here, I'm gonna use the 100 side for an example.
You're right.
I'm gonna use the 100. The 100 side has an ecosystem, right?
Hold on, 120. If 100 people stop doing things because the National Guard is there, right?
Right.
There's a strong possibility 90 of those 100 when they leave, I'll go back to doing them. I'll take that extra 10 that stopped. It's worth it.
But listen though, now reverse that.
Do you not agree?
I disagree because the mayor, if this never happened, I might agree with that. But that mayor did something that ain't been done in 50 years by creating an ecosystem. That's why I was about to use the 100 side. The 100 side is a whole ecosystem. Can't nobody get in that bitch, and it's hard to get out. Right? So now, imagine you take that same ecosystem, you put that ecosystem that's in Baltimore. That means that crime rate can only get lower based on that ecosystem. If they stopped being those hating neighbors, like how they came and did a tour. You know why them neighbors did a tour? For two reasons: envy, and they wanted to admire you.
Cap, let me ask you a question.
Wait, let me get this out. This is good. Now, if they look at what that mayor did, even if they envy him, they should come to the mayor's mansion. They should come to his crib. They should come and they should observe and admire him like they admire your backyard. And they should say, they should have the Newark mayor come, the Trenton mayor come, the Camden, I don't know all the counties, the Chicago mayor. All the mayors come. They should be given, like how me and you doing this live stream, there should be a whole council with that mayor saying, I did this, I did this, I did this.
Do you not understand the jungle you in? For them to do that is assisting us. We are in the situation we're in because of lack of assistance. We have to do that. Listen,
right.
Cap, we have to do that for ourselves. I see people in the chat saying, Wack is dumb for this title, saying Charlie Kirk is the white Malcolm X. But what they fail to realize, the mental midgets, is the title that got you here listening to what we're talking about. And hopefully you can take these messages back and let people know, hey, bro, the brother's got a point. Cap, we both have a point. I'm just telling you.
That's what I said. Like, we
I'm
both,
one of those that,
I don't want people to miss.
When you tell me, listen, I'm going to respond 10 times harder to I can't then. Wack, you see what you're doing? I respond harder to denial than praise. Right? And as black people, when we was hungry back there, and these are stories because we ain't been through this, not the way our people went through, and they took that pig and they butchered that pig and had that feast in the big house, and they threw away the ears, the intestines, the pig's feet, and all this. You know what our people did under pressure? Took that and created something and called it soul food. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, let's not hear what they saying about us and get mad. Let's hear what they saying about us and take it as a challenge and do something about it to a point to where they can't say it.
That's why I said, like, in this conversation,
remain, Cap, watch this. I'd rather their numbers remain where they are because we ain't saying nothing about what they doing and ours decline. So now when we want to step out and beat our chest, and we can say in the last 10 years, your numbers have done nothing but stay the same or incline. In the last 2 years, our numbers have dropped 38%. I don't want to put no light and wake up the opposition. Okay, we hear y'all comfortable, y'all saying we the problem. Let's go in here in this tunnel and come up with a solution. We ain't gonna tell them nothing. We gonna beat them with our actions, not our reaction.
I think when people, first of all, people got to get out their feelings with titles. Because how white people feel about Charlie is how black people felt about Malcolm. Martin, XYZ, like that. So you got to kind of get out your feelings. And you are watching. I say that all the time. Like, you are watching. And I think what people also, this is one of the rare times that although he's saying it differently than me, we're really kind of saying the same thing, Wack100. It's not too far off.
What I disagree with you is you taking 15% of our light and turning it on to what they doing. I
ain't turned no
light on us.
No, I can't say I turned it on.
Because you said, yeah, we represent this, but their numbers is this.
No, actually, I did it reverse. So I did it two ways. I did say what they do, and I'm always going to point out what they do. But I also
not right now, Cap.
And this is why I said. This is why I said we need.
Let's play possum. Can we play possum? You know how to play possum.
I do know how to play possum, but that's why I said. But the reason why I said we need truth and hope. So yes, you need to know the truth of what we do, but you also need the hope. That's why you keep hearing me bring up the Baltimore mayor, because that's the hope. So you don't want to vilify black people so much at a time where black people have nothing to do with the crime, because we can't let that. I think that's something that everybody has missed. That yes,
But we
we're
got
talking
something
about
to do
black
with our
people.
crime on us.
No. What I'm saying is, when it comes to Charlie, how Charlie died had nothing to do with black people, but for some reason we're the
That's
same.
not in question.
No, you're saying it's not in question.
Everybody
You and
knows
I,
that.
No, you can't say that,
They
because
caught the
white
killer.
people threaten white people put bomb threats on black colleges and stuff like that, even though we ain't got nothing to do with it. So you want to give people. So the reason why you see me addressing some of the things Charlie has said.
Now stop right there.
Is
This is when y'all come into play. This is when the FOI. This is when our Israelites. This is when our retired military militia. This when our people are supposed to come into play and take that stance on them campuses to let them know our presence is here legally. See, we ain't here to do nothing to nobody, but we not gonna let you do nothing to our somebody.
So in some places they've done that, but you also do it on the internet too. So like and back in the day, before the internet was what it was, you would do more street. But now you have to do street and you have to do it on the internet. So we have to remind people, hey man, this is not a black on black, this is not a black on white problem. And I think that's what's angered white people more, because they can't blame us. This is one time they can't blame us. They got to look at themselves. So we got to do that too.
They have never been able to blame us. John F. Kennedy, they couldn't blame us.
Man, they trying to blame us now.
They can't. No, they're not trying. They know we had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's death. And I'm gonna be real. I do have some sentimental feelings about how he died, because he has children, and me knowing the internet how it is for the rest of their life, they gonna have to see that, right? And I wish, it wouldn't have happened like that, right? We don't.
But now, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? This is the thing about black people.
We would love it to see it happen to you. You on many corners.
Right, but this is the beautiful thing about black people. We can always have that level of empathy or compassion, what you just said, right? But he's made fun of George Floyd, made fun of Trayvon. He's made fun of black people. He made fun of his own people. Like when Nancy Pelosi's husband got beat up and damn near beat to death, he even wanted that person to be free. So a lot of people, the way they feel about Charlie is also about his reputation. Like if he was a good type of white guy, even if the stuff that he was saying about black people was false or right, if his reputation was solid, you wouldn't see a lot of black people talking about Charlie.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
I'm not saying anything right. I ain't got no feeling about him.
Listen,
I think America should forgive the killer of Charlie too.
Do what?
They should forgive the killer of Charlie. That's what they should do.
Forgive the killer of Charlie.
Yeah, if America, when black people go through deaths, they tell us we gotta forgive the person that killed
Charlie,
us.
Then we shouldn't be offended about them wanting to let dude out that.
But that's my point. But that's my point. This is my message to America. Whenever something happens to black people, they always want us to forgive the killers. So America should lead by example and forgive they want us to forgive everybody.
Listen,
let the past be the past.
A killer is a killer. Listen, white, black, Asian, Samoan, Jewish, Hispanic, a killer is a killer, right?
But we have to let go the past. So they should let that go.
I no longer believe in killing. I condone murder all day. I think you
say that reverse. I would say a reverse. I don't condone murder.
Because killing, to me, is a senseless act of taking a life for no reason.
That's how I look at murder. The word, it's just wordplay. It's just
because he had on the wrong color, something like, or he's speaking, what he believe in. A murder is 2:00 in the morning, you get up, you go downstairs, nigga in your living room with a firearm. You defend your family, right?
But I would look at those, this is just wordplay basically. I would look at kill as what you said, the 2 a.m. and murder is the other.
So I see killing as a senseless act of taking a life without just cause. Murder is a justifiable reason for taking a life.
I
You
look at
get what
those
I'm
two
saying?
words. I do. I
So
do get what you're saying.
what
But I
I'm
look at the
saying
words
is,
reverse. I look at the words
what I'm
reverse.
saying is, we first must. This is my vision.
Mm-hmm.
Work on self. It'll never be perfect, but I think we can get that number down. Right?
We getting the number. Listen, if we follow, like even Chicago's, there's down 33%. Chicago murders are down
But we
33%.
have to
We
continue
gotta
it.
keep.
You know how
I
we
agree.
continue for it to
I
be up?
agree. I agree. We gotta continue to get the number down. So as they push the propaganda that all we're doing is unaliving each other, but then we keep pushing the numbers down, we have to not fall for the propaganda and look at the truth. That's why I
But
bring out
I'm
the
gonna be
truth.
real, brother.
Because if we know that the
Our
numbers is
numbers
coming
are
down,
horrible.
no, wait, but they're down.
Horrible, Cap.
33% is better than no percent. And
That's
so now
great.
we got to
And
look
we
at
gotta
how that
continue
we got to
to
continue
drive
to
them
do
down.
so, and we have to fight. If someone says, "Nah, y'all are horrible," and we have numbers to prove the opposite, what would that make people see? People would see, no, black people aren't. I'm talking about my
Cap.
own people. We have to know that we're not as violent as we're being portrayed.
But to date, right now,
We are not
we
as
are.
violent as we're. No, we're not.
Yes,
No,
we
we're
are.
not.
Cap.
If that was the case, Chicago wouldn't be 33% down, and Baltimore wouldn't be the 50% low. The lowest it's been in 50 years.
See, by you
50.
saying this, you want our people to get comfortable
No,
with
I
our
wanted to get
standards.
it to 60. No, now we can get it to 60, get it to 70, get it. But you have to know, no. Like, let's say, let's reverse it. Let's take it off of this, right? Let's say if you run
You
a
ever play
business.
football, Cap?
Wait, before you do your analogy, let's
Have
say
you
if
ever
you
played
run.
football?
No, just basketball, really. But let's say,
Basketball.
You went out, Wack. I'm gonna wait for him
Let
to
me
come
get
back.
this analogy. Basketball, football, whatever. You could go out there and whoop a team's butt.
Mm-hmm.
Beat them by 20. Right?
They're gonna
A good coach on that next day of practice, what is that coach gonna tell the team?
He's strategizing on what plays you ran so that he can
gonna
beat you
say,
on those plays. Right.
Y'all look horrible out there.
Right.
I know y'all think y'all did something. You messed up the pick and roll. You was missing your tackles. You know why you do that? Because the minute, right, you start to glorify what we already accomplished, we get lax and stop chasing a bigger accomplishment. So I hear you, but I'm gonna tell my people, we still have a serious problem. Have we been making improvements? Yes. But the improvements we made is not the end all be all. We have to do that.
But like any coach, let's take that coach, and they have nothing but losing seasons, and then you bring in a new coach. That new coach bring in new practice, new helmets.
Yeah, love, this shit finna go crazy. This shit finna go crazy.